Welcome to the Debt Sucks podcast, where we talk all things debt, adulting, and how not to let finances ruin your life. I'm Ben Matthews, aka your friendly neighborhood bankruptcy attorney. And yes, I'm here to tell you that debt doesn't have to suck the life out of you, even though it totally will if you let it. We're here to get real about money, debt, and the messiness of being an adult. This is not the place for sugarcoating. We're tackling the uncomfortable truths about debt head on and giving you the tools to actually get out of it without having to live off ramen for the next 10 years. So who's this guy telling you how to deal with debt? I'm a bankruptcy attorney. But here's the twist. I actually try to help people stay out of bankruptcy. I've seen people hit rock bottom and come out stronger. And I want to help everyone who feels like they're drowning in debt get to that other side. Yep, even I've dealt with debt, been there, stressed over that. So when I say I get it, I really do. No judgment here, just real talk. Honestly, I'm doing this because I know that a lot of people out there are struggling in silence. They think they've got their debt under control, but they're just one bad break from having to call me. So let's break that silence, kill the shame, and actually get you some relief. Let's start with a fun fact. If debt were a person, it would be that loudmouth you avoid at every party. Debt is just as clingy, just as obnoxious, and just as likely to ruin your night or your life, honestly. Let's say you owe $5,000 on your credit card. That's pretty average for most people. And your interest rate is a solid 20%. You figure, I'll just pay the minimum, no big deal. Well, guess what? That minimum payment is the financial equivalent of treading water in cement shoes. If your minimum payment is around 2% of your balance, again, pretty standard, you'd be paying about $100 a month on that $5,000 debt. Sounds manageable, right? If you keep making just the minimum payment, it's going to take you almost 10 years to pay that off. One whole freaking decade. By the time you're finally free of that $5,000 debt, you'll have shelled out over $11,500 in total payments. That's more than twice what you originally owed. And what do you have for it? A bunch of stuff you probably don't even have anymore and a serious regret hangover. But if you flip the script and stash that $100 in a savings account earning 4% interest in that same 10 years, you'd be sitting on $14,000. 14 grand! That's a fat stack you could be building instead of lining some lender's pocket. The takeaway? Quit pouring your hard-earned cash into endless debt payments and start putting it to work for you by following the Debt Sucks plan. Future you will thank you and might even buy a jet ski. Debt doesn't just suck up your money. It steals your options. Vacations, maybe next year. Buying a house, good luck with that credit score. Debt makes it harder to live the life you actually want. Over the next few weeks, you're going to learn the Debt Sucks plan, a simple, practical way to crush your debt and take back control of your money. It all starts with your rock pile. This is where you lay it all out. Every single debt you owe, balances, interest rates, and minimum payments. It's about facing the facts, even if it's uncomfortable, because you can't fix what you don't acknowledge. Next up is the brutally honest money breakdown. Here we take a hard look at your income, your money mojo, your non-negotiables, those bills you can't ghost, and your unpredictable spending, your cash chaos. This step gives you total clarity on where your money is coming from, where it's going, and what's left to work with. And spoiler alert, clarity is power. Once you've got the numbers sorted, it's time to build your Shit Happens Fund. This small essential safety net is for life's inevitable curveballs. Car repairs, unexpected bills, you name it. It's not a luxury, it's a lifeline to keep emergencies from derailing your progress. With these basics in place, it's time to bring out your financial hammer. This is where you find extra cash from cutting expenses, side hustles, or anything else, and start smashing through your debts. Using the pile driver method, you'll save aggressively and pay off debts in big, satisfying chunks. Every win builds momentum, and before you know it, you'll be on the fast track to freedom. Ready to get started? Let's tackle your rock pile and take the first step toward crushing your debt once and for all. All right, here's the deal. Stop hiding from the numbers. Seriously, stop pretending they don't exist like your ex's cringy Instagram account. It's time to face the music, or in this case, the debt. So grab a pen, a keyboard, or a stick to carve it in stone tablets if that's your vibe. And hey, if you're not driving right now, hop over to debtsucks.info. That's right, .info, because .com wasn't in the budget. Debt Sucks didn't start with debt. Download the rock pile form. It's a fillable PDF that'll help you see just how big your pile of rocks is. Think of each debt as a rock. We're going to crush them one by one, but first you need the full inventory. This isn't a pity party, it's a prep rally. So let's go. Write it down. All of it. Credit cards? Yeah. That car loan for the truck with the fancy rims? Toss it in. That buy now, pay forever stuff from Klarna or Affirm? Oh, they're on this list. Student loans? Duh. And don't forget the totally I'll pay you back mom I owe you that's been haunting your family dinners. Fill it all out. The balance, the interest rate, the minimum payment. Hey, this isn't that hard. It's just harder than what you usually do. Feel like you're going to throw up? Perfect. That means you're doing it right. Is there some ridiculous facepalm worthy stuff in there? Of course there is. Who cares how you got here? I don't, and neither should you. Guilt won't pay off a damn thing. Action will. Okay, pause, take a deep breath. That's enough adulting for today. You looked at your debt, you wrote it down, and guess what? That's more than most people ever do. So go ahead, give yourself a high five or a snack or a stiff drink if that's your thing. You earned it. When you finish the rock pile form, you're officially part of the elite club of people who actually know their shit. Most people are too busy shoving their debt into the mental junk drawer, but not you. You're different. You're a badass with a plan, or at least the start of one. And spoiler alert, in the next episodes, we're going to turn that pile of rocks into rubble. All right, before we wrap this up, let's tackle one of the most common questions I see. Why don't I just get a debt consolidation loan? I'm so glad you asked. Here's the thing. On paper, it sounds like a genius move. Roll all your debt into one magical low-interest loan and live happily ever after. Cue the Disney soundtrack, right? Nope. My wife and I tried this a few years ago. Here's what happened. We consolidated our debt, but we didn't change our spending habits. Next thing you know, those shiny, newly available credit cards were maxed out again, and we were stuck making payments on both the loan and the card. Really smart move. We just turned our financial quicksand into a financial sinkhole. Bravo! Listen, debt doesn't have to be your defining feature. You're not that broke guy or that woman who owes everyone. You're just someone with a pile of rocks and a sledgehammer. And once you know the size of your rock pile, you're already ahead of the pack. Most people don't look. They're too busy hiding, but not you. So post rock pile on one of our feeds and let me know you knocked this out. I want to cheer you on. If you're ready to kick this thing into gear, grab our free Debt Sucks forms at debtsucks.info. It's full of tools to help you start smashing those rocks into pebbles. Hey, let's get real for a sec. The Debt Sucks plan, it's awesome. It works, but not everyone has the time or the patience to chip away at their financial Mount Everest. Maybe you're drowning right now, like creditors calling your grandma, paycheck gone before it lands, sleepless nights count of drowning. Sound familiar? Listen, you don't have to white knuckle your way through this alone. Instead of spending years battling debt $1 at a time, I've got you. Bankruptcy isn't a failure, it's a fresh start. And sometimes hitting reset is the smartest thing you can do. At my law firm here in South Carolina, we take the time to listen to your story and help you figure out if bankruptcy is the right choice for you. No pressure, no judgment, just straight answers and real solutions. And if you don't live in South Carolina, don't worry. I can connect you with a trusted attorney in your state. Wherever you are, help is closer than you think. So if you're ready to stop the stress and start fresh, visit debtsucks.info to share a little about your situation or call my office for a free consultation. Let's find your path forward together, because sometimes you don't need a plan, you need a damn lifeline. Let me be that lifeline. All right, folks, that's a wrap for today. But next time, we're diving into the brutally honest money breakdown. Yeah, it's exactly what it sounds like. Raw, real, and maybe just a little uncomfortable. But trust me, it's the kind of truth that sets you free. Remember, adulting is hard. It's harder with debt, but you don't have to face it alone, and you're already taking the first step just by showing up here. If you're loving the podcast, or even if you're just a little mildly entertained, do me a solid. Follow, leave a review, and share it with someone you know who could use a little debt relief in their life. Seriously, let's spread the word and help more people ditch the stress and take back control. Thanks for tuning into Debt Sucks, where we keep it real and help you crush debt one step at a time. Catch you next time.